One thing they have to do is to find somewhere to play. Greg of the Outcasts.
I got a telephone calling off my places like Hamlin Hinch somewhere. We might just be bringing over some of them punk bands from England. We've heard about you boys. We want you to play. You really need just to hear from them again.
In Londonderry, the Undertones found the same problem.
So then we went around all the pubs trying to get places to play, and no one would have us because they never heard us. That's the thing. Any new group starting at all in there, they can't. There's nowhere that no one will let them play at all. The Belfast is the only place with tickets, so we started playing there once every month or so.
In Belfast, there's 2 rock venues, the Harp and the Pound. We only have the Harp because, you know, we are barred from the Pound.
Pete Bartley of the Blood Clots.
I would play the Harp bar for one reason only, is because I know a few people down there and they'll probably listen to me. I wouldn't play the Pound because if I go down there, my music will be radically different to what people expect in the Pound. And working man's clubs anywhere in Belfast, my type of band wouldn't go down well there either.
Terry Hooley's keen to get the music beyond the bars.
A lot of the kids who are really involved in the punk scene are 15, 16, 17 years of age, so we can't get them into pub gigs. So what we've had recently is Protex and the Outcasts doing youth club gigs, playing for free to kids in Andersonstown, in the Newton Ards Road, anywhere, but just playing free for the kids. When English punk band The Clash played in Belfast, they gave the local scene a boost. The Outcasts were second on the bill.
At the Clash concert, really surprised me how many people there were. Like the age ranged from about 8 to about 28. Like, it was really such a wide variation. So like there obviously is, you know, an awful lot of punks.
When the Thin Lizzy concert was on, we were playing in Queens with a lot of other bands. It was called the Battle of the Bands, and there was about 500 odd there, and that was similar to the Thin Lizzy concert, so it showed how many people are interested in it.
When we got the chance to play them, like, we expected just to go on, you know, a hail of abuse and people calling out for the Clash. Like, we went on like as if we were stars almost as well. We had people coming up asking us for autographs and things, and because like we're using the Clash's gear and their roadies are like experts in sign, we got the best sign we've ever had.
Terry Hooley went to see the Outcasts and Rudy at the Pound Club the night there was a minor riot. He was mainly impressed by Rudy.
We went down to see Rudy and the Outcasts play in the Pound. It was great, and it was the first time in a long time that I was able to go out at night and really enjoy myself. And because of the energy that was going on that night, the kids were really going daft and having a great time. So we've been involved with Alternative Ulster fanzine, and I said to Rudy, would you like to make a free flip-flop record to put out with Alternative Ulster, because I was really into the idea of a free record. So we had a meeting with Rudy and we discussed it, and they were dead against the idea. They wanted to make a bona fide record. So we talked about it, and they went into the studio and recorded Big Time, which sold very well and we thought was going to be a #1 hit. We were really convinced that this was a really good record, was going to make it.
The key to the Big Time is, of course, a record. Independent labels looking for new ideas have given the business a lift.
There have always been good people in England, and the record companies don't seem to put them out because they're good. They're looking for the trend. They're looking for what's now. And a lot of the time, they produce a band that were now, only they were now a month or two earlier. The music business in the actual music scene, it caused the scene, or felt it did. So I think we changed it a bit.
Cliff Moore of the It Records shop was the first to try it locally.
It had become somewhat routine, the actual shops, and then I happened to be in London going around Chiswick and Bonaparte and Stiff, etc. You know, just buying stuff actually. And they were so small shops and so disorganised. I thought there mustn't be nothing to this starting a record label, so I just came back and started. And there's no great mystery about a label because it's just a matter of getting a printer to print you a couple of thousand little labels. That's all there is to it.
Terry Hooley runs Good Vibrations record shop and has helped several groups put records out.
The main reason why I sell the records in the shop is because I've always been wanted to be involved in the music industry in some level. And the main reason why we do the label is because we're interested in what's happening in Belfast. I mean, because we've all grown up in Belfast, and there's been other groups like them in Belfast. I grew up with those groups. The kids are now getting involved with groups. They've all got stars in their eyes. They all want to make a record. But we basically we want them to make a record and get some return on it, so they'll never be ripped off.
Oh, it doesn't seem to realize the little Jackie is not a problem child. She asked the doctor, what's wrong with him? The doctor says, oh, not a teenage rebel, and not a spotty problem kid, not a teenage rebel, oh, just a teenage rebel.
Our third single was a lucky break for us in a way that the Outcasts had made a record for it record label. The single had sold very well. We sold a hell of a lot of copies of it. At that time I didn't like the Outcasts. I didn't like them at all. I hated the Outcasts. I don't think there's anybody locally who hated the Outcasts more than I hated them.
That first record by the Outcasts was for Cliff Moore.
We sent over about 18 copies of this demo away to England. We sent one off, the only Irish company we had ever heard of, and that was It Records.